This is the equations quiz number 2 for Math 8. For this quiz, make sure to read all directions carefully. Also, if you are typing an answer, make sure to carefully read the directions on how to type it in, and always, always, always use lowercase letters and no spaces in your answers. If you are typing an answer to an equation, make sure the variable is first. For example, x equals blank. When typing in an equation, make sure it is in standard form. Variable terms first and the total last. An example of standard form is 2x plus 10 equals 40. Do not type it as 40 equals 2x plus 10. Okay? Type in your email address, your last name, your first name, and then choose which class period you are in. For numbers 1 through 5, you're going to solve each of the equations below. Show all of your work and organize your steps on the work document. So take your time, be mindful. There are lots of negative signs on this quiz. Number 1, solve 36 equals y plus 5y minus 12. Make sure you type your answer as simply y equals your answer. Okay? Don't forget these are multi-step equations. You might need to use distributive property, combine like terms, and then solve the two-step equation. Number 2, I see distributive property to start. 3 times the quantity of x plus 9 equals 6. Do not forget to distribute the 3 to everything in parentheses. When you distribute, you are multiplying. Make sure when you write your answer, you say x equals the number, your answer. Number 3, be careful. If I look at this problem, what number is in front of the parentheses? I see a negative sign, but what number? Negative what? Because that number is what you're distributing through the 2x plus 4 in the group. So the problem is negative 2x plus 4 equals 8. Again, type your answer as x equals blank. Number 4, you have 2 sets of distributive property. 8 times the quantity of 2 minus 6p plus 3 times the quantity of p plus 8 equals negative 50. So after distributing, make sure you combine like terms and then solve the two-step equation. Be careful of the negative signs. You can always check your work by plugging in your solution back into the equation. Takes a little bit longer, but you'd be happy if you did. Number 5, another negative. Negative 5 plus 6 times the quantity x plus 6 equals 43. Again, your answer is x equals your answer. No spaces. Number 6, 16 minus 3 times the quantity of w plus 7 equals 1. When you're distributing, make sure you distribute the negative 3 times the w and the negative 3 times the 7. Write your answer as w equals blank. Here you're using the variable w. Number 7a, this first part, you're simply coming up with an equation. Okay, just the equation, so don't solve it. It says the sum, that means you're adding. The sum of the angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 180 degrees. Use the information to write an equation. Use lowercase x as your variable. Before you type in your final answer, you need to make sure that you combine like terms and you write it in standard form. Okay, so if you simply write it out as all of this, you'll see that you need to combine like terms before you write your final equation. Okay, so I'll read the question again. The sum of the angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. Use that information to write an equation. Use lowercase x as your variable. Simplify the equation to standard form before you type it in. Combine like terms and variable terms come first. Do not add any spaces. Okay, so for example, your answer should look something like this. 10x plus 10 equals 10 with no spaces. So again, if your answer is 10x plus 3x plus 4, you didn't combine like terms. After you write the equation for 7a, in 7b, you're solving the equation. So number 7b says solve the equation you wrote in 7a to find the value of the variable. You can type the number answer only or write x equals with no spaces. So you can either write the number or x equals the number. Number 8, draw a picture first. That's what I would do. Okay. So you are fencing a rectangular garden with a total of 25 feet of fence. So there's your total. There is an existing fence along the length of one side that is 9 feet long. So you're really only using 3 sides of the fence or of the garden to fence. Okay. What is the width of the garden? Type the number answer only. Okay. So just give me the number. Okay, so again, only 3 sides is being used. The total number of feet you're using is 25 feet. You do not know the width. Number 9 looks long, but you can do it. Sally and her 3 friends rent a jet ski. So there's a total of 4 people. Okay, 4 people. The jet ski rental is $50 per hour. So if I think about what the word per means, 50 per hour. And what does the word and mean? Each person must rent a life jacket at $2 per person. So if I think about this, it's $50 per person, $50 per hour, and each person must rent a life jacket at $2 per person. There's 4 people altogether. Okay? If the bill for the rental of this jet ski and life jackets is a total of $308, for how many hours did they rent the jet ski? Okay, so we're looking for how many hours. Write an equation to model this scenario. Okay, let H equal the number of hours they rented the jet ski. Simplify the equation before you type it in. Type it in standard form. For example, your answer should look like 10H plus 10 equals 10 with no spaces and the variable term first and the total last. Okay, so it says where it says per person, this has nothing really to do with the equation other than to know that there are 4 people altogether. So if I think about this, $2 for each person, so I think there's 4 people altogether. Okay, I don't know how many hours I'm jet skiing. Number 9, solve your equation. Your answer should make sense. Okay, so you're solving the equation that you came up with in 9a. Your answer should make sense. It is a whole number. I'll give you that hint. It is a whole number. There are no negatives. There are no decimals. There are no fractions. It should be a whole number for your response. Number 10a, perimeter. Think perimeter. I have to add up all the sides. And here we only have given you 2. So if this side is 3, what is this side? If this side is y minus 1, what is this side? I'm actually using all 4 sides to find perimeter. It says if the perimeter of the rectangle below is 20 feet, so a total of 20 feet, write an equation to find y. Make sure you type your equation with no spaces and the total goes last. Okay, so I'm just looking for an equation right here. Make sure it's in standard form and you simplify it. You combine like terms. For 10b, you're actually solving for y. Okay, so use this equation that you came up with in 10a and solve it for 10b. Number 11a, now you're finding area. If I think of area, I know area is length times width. Here we're giving you area and we're telling you it's 12 feet squared. So your total is 12 feet. Okay, so now we're trying to find y. based on the area. So if the area of the rectangle below is 12 feet squared, write an equation to find y. Make sure you type your equation with no spaces and the total last. So this first one, 11a, you're simply finding the equation. 11b, you're solving it. Make sure you write y equals blank. This last question, it's agree or disagree, but you need to show your work on the work document. Candace solved the problem below. Analyze her work and decide if you agree or disagree with her solution. So here's the problem. 3 times the quantity of x minus 3 minus quantity x plus 6 equals 9. So I see this, I see two sets of distributive property. Again, what number is in front of this parentheses? Her answer is 3x minus 9 minus x plus 6 equals 9. When she combined like terms, she got 2x minus 3 equals 9. And then when she solved the equation, the two-step equation, she got 4x equals 12 to give her x equals 3. Do you agree or disagree with her solution? Again, if you think about this, you can check all your work by simply substituting your solutions into each of your equations. Okay? Another hint is every answer that you came up with should be a nice number. It could be negative, it could be positive, but there are no fractions, there are no decimals. So go back, take a look, take your time, there's no hurry.